Denise Cavaness from Arise Radio Show. And you can find Arise Radio Show on Fishbowl Radio Network. That's FBRN.US every Monday night at 9 p.m. I'm just here today just to give you a little highlights on what our topic is going to be about this Monday night. And so what we're going to be talking about is living life to the fullest. We all understand that life is short and that we can be here today and gone tomorrow. So it is very important how we spend the precious time that God gives us here on earth. And what I want us to think about is making sure that we don't spend all our life in the survival mode, and that we come into a point that we come into the fullness of life and begin to enjoy our life and have happiness in our life as we go through our days, so that we get to the point that we're coming to the promised land. In order to get there, we have to have a life with a purpose. And so a purpose will actually give us a focus for our lives, and purpose gives us a reason why we live. And sometimes we get in our life and there's things that's going on, we begin to question, well, Lord, why am I still here? You get to the point where, why am I still going through these things? If we have a purpose, it will even take us through those rough times. And so our purpose helps us to allow, as we plan for the things that we have, or we decide we want to do in life, or we have in our hearts and our mind to do in life, we can wait as God order our steps to that purpose and to that plan that we have developed for our life. Purpose gives us the life that we can live life to the fullest. It also helps us to actually have a mindset that, I don't have to stop right here. There is I have a purpose there. Whatever's going on in my life can't stop me right here, because there's a purpose. I have an end thing that I'm getting to, or end idea of where my life is supposed to be, the purpose of my life. And so in knowing that, if we look at Paul in Philippians, the 3rd chapter, the 10th through the 11th verse, he talks about what his purpose is. He didn't say that his purpose was to, be the greatest apostle of all times, and he might as well have been, because he wrote most of the New Testament. That's not what he said his purpose was. We sometimes say, and somebody asks us what we do, we say, well, my purpose, or what my purpose is to be the best teacher, to be the best preacher, to be the best mother, to be the best whatever God has in your life for you to do. But that is not the main purpose. What Paul gives us in the scriptures in Philippians 3, 10 and 11, the main purpose of life. And so if we get to what the main purpose of life is, everything else will begin to fall in place, in focus. And let's listen to what Paul says his main focus is. In verse 10, he says that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. And in verse 11 says, by any means I might obtain the resurrection of his death. Paul is simply saying that all he wants to know, his main purpose is to get to know Jesus Christ even the more. That his life is about getting to know Jesus Christ, because Paul understands that in Jesus is life. In Jesus is the light, is the knowledge of life and how to live it. Because he said, God said, I sent my son to give you life and give it to you more abundantly. In order to live an abundant life, first of all, we got to know Jesus. And I know some of you say, well, I know who Jesus Christ is in my life. But the thing is, we still have to keep learning about more and more about who Jesus Christ is, that we will be what God is calling us to be. So on Monday night at Fishbowl Radio Station, the Rise Show will be going more in depth about who we are in Jesus Christ, how we can live an abundant life, some steps that we can take in order to get to living an abundant life. I hope to see you on Fishbowl Radio Network at 9 p.m. on the Green Stream. This is Denise Cavaness at the Rise Show. Bye.